Good morning, students. Happy Monday. I hope that today you're able to enjoy some of the cooler weather. It feels a little more like spring outside today than the past couple of days, though it's still really nice to be outside. I'm going to work through today's daily math question in the way that we normally would in the classroom, looking at keywords and red flags, talking about the skills that are needed for the problem, developing a solution strategy, working through the solution strategy, and then, of course, identifying potential common mistakes. So here is today's daily math question. All right, so we see that for today's question, we have lines XU and WY intersecting at point A. And here's the diagram. Based on the diagram, select all statements that must be true. A, angle XAZ measures 50 degrees. B, angle XAW measures 50 degrees. C, angle WAU and angle XAY are vertical angles. D, angle ZAX and YAU are complementary angles. E, angle WAZ and ZAU are supplementary angles. So with my highlighter, I'm going to highlight what I believe to be the keywords in today's question. I would definitely say that identifying the lines here, that XU and WY intersect at point A. Kind of naturally something we would do in class is to highlight the entire diagram. I think that's really important for us to notice. I think something that I would really pay attention to would be this right angle marker right here. Based on the diagram, so it's telling me where to look and what to look at. Select all statements that are true, which means there's going to be more than one. And then, of course, true being a definite keyword in this situation. The angle notation here, I think, is really important, looking at the different angle notations that are present and the vocabulary that we see. Vertical angles, complementary angles, and supplementary angles. I would say that those are the keywords in today's question. Looking at red flags, those things that I really need to be sure I pay attention to, or things that could cause me to misstep. I would most definitely say that this right angle marker is a red flag. If I miss that, I could really miss part of the problem. And if you'll give me 1 second, I'm going to double check what's posted for you guys, because I think I've missed part of the diagram in what I've written here. Indeed I have. Okay. Thought so. So I'll fill this in right quick. This is part of the original diagram, that this was 50 degrees. And I would definitely say that that's also a keyword. So excuse me. Okay. All right. So other red flags, I would say that the word all is a red flag. If we skip over that, that could be a problem. And then I would definitely say that true is a red flag, because we want to be sure we're looking at the statements that are true. If you see anything else, I would love to have you post a comment in Google Classroom for other keywords or red flags that you feel like you noticed in today's question. Now, in terms of skills needed, I need to be familiar with, oh, I think I picked up a pen that doesn't work. Guess I'll use my pencil. I need to be familiar with lines and angles. I need to understand vocabulary, specifically vertical, complementary, and supplementary. I need to know what those mean in the context of a situation. I need to know symbolism. Specifically, the angle notation and the right angle marker. Both are present in this problem and do need our attention. I need to be able to find missing measures. Okay. Again, if you see other skills that we need in this problem, based on finding 50 here, I might need to do some addition or subtraction. All right. Now from here, let's see what we really need to do. What sort of strategy are we going to look at today? The first thing that I would do is to study the diagram. Okay, that's the first thing that I would do. The next thing that I would do would be to label any angles that I can. If I can find some of the missing angles in this diagram, that could potentially be very helpful for me in terms of answering the question. Okay. Number 3, I would read each answer choice and determine if it is true or false. Sorry for the movement. I don't have my trusty iPad stand. It's in the classroom and I'm not supposed to go there. So I will just make do with what I have here at home. So here is what I believe to be, again, our keywords, our red flags, are the skills that we need for today's question, and a strategy that I'm going to use to answer today's question. So now I'm going to work through today's question with you. So the first thing that I said I would do would be to study the diagram. I'm going to pay really close attention to the diagram and notice that, like it said, that XU is intersected by WY, and point A is common for both of those lines. Point Z is a different line completely. It doesn't have another end down here, and it forms a right angle here. ZAY becomes a right angle. I see that YAU is 50 degrees, so that leaves me with the question of then what is this angle measure? Well, if XU is a straight line, then it's going to measure a total of 180 degrees. 90 of that is spoken for in the 90-degree angle. 50 is spoken for here, which means that this angle is going to be 40 degrees. 40 and 50 making 90, 90 and 90 making the full 180 degrees. Looking then at the same mentality here with the line of WY being a straight line, meaning that its total measure here would be 180 degrees. 90 is spoken for here, 40 is spoken for here, meaning that WAX or XAW is going to be 50 degrees. I do see here that based on the laws of vertical angles, that angle WAX and YAU are vertical angles. Okay, I'm studying the diagram and I have labeled the angles possible. Now I'm going to read each answer choice and I'm going to compare it with the true statements or the answer choice statements and see if they're true. Angle XAZ measures 50 degrees. XAZ. We said that was 40 degrees, so that is not a true statement. Angle XAW measures 50 degrees. XAW, we did say that measured 50 degrees, so we would say that B is one of our answers. Angle WAU, WAU, which is this angle here, and XAY are vertical angles. Okay, interesting. That's something we didn't even look at when we looked at our diagram, but if we're talking about the statements that are true, we're looking at that takes us back to the original diagram of XU and YW being intersected by point A, which would then lend that WAU and XAY would yield vertical angles. Okay, so that would also be true. ZAX and YAU are complementary angles. ZAX and YAU are complementary. Well, this is 50. Sorry, ZAX is 40 and YAU is 50. The definition of complementary angles is that they add to give you 50 degrees, or sorry, 90 degrees. And they would be complementary. WAZ and ZAU are supplementary. WAZ, which is 90 total, and ZAU, which would be 90 plus 50, making 140, are supplementary, and that would not be true. So the answers to today's daily math question are B, C, and D. Some common mistakes that could be made here: not reading it carefully, not studying the diagram carefully, not marking all statements, looking for the ones that are false instead of the ones that are true. If you're not familiar with vocabulary, that could be an issue. Okay, things of that nature. On a level of 1 to 5, for your scale of understanding, you would label this question. 1 being wouldn't know where to start, 5 being you understand it so well you would be able to teach it to the class. And in this case, I would rate myself a 5. However, I'm the teacher, so that's not necessarily fair. So again, any comments or things you would like to add or questions you would like to ask about today's question, if you would just post those in the thread on Google Classroom, I'll be more than happy to answer those for you in as timely a manner as possible. Again, more than anything, I just hope that you are home and you are well and you are enjoying this time as much as you possibly can. I know that this little guy and I are trying to have as much fun as we can along with his brother and sister. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.